Hello. Basically, because my voting thing, like I did a voting thing, to either do like carry on with a Heartbreak High or do Cobra Kai or High School Musical, the musical, the series, and I think that one's the one that won. And then I put like a fourth option, which was to watch one episode, like the first episode of each series. And that one was winning at first, and then the other one took over. So I'll be watching that show, which means for this one, I thought I would just do like, I watched all of season 1, so I haven't seen season 2 yet. So I've watched all of season 1. So I thought that what I would do is I would just react to all of season 2 because I kind of just wanted to get one of the seasons out of the way, and I thought it'd be easier just to get rid of the first because I've seen a lot of clips from the first season anyway. So I thought, it'll be easier to do that because, I've seen so many things. So I already knew what was going to happen with like Harper and everything, so it wasn't really going to be a surprise. Basically, I ranked all the characters that I could remember at least. I'm not going to really talk about the Darren's dad or Emery's mum or anything like that, like kind of minor characters. Like I do like the characters, and I guess we do see the dad more than the mum, but like I don't think I really care too much. Like obviously I care about like Darren's relationship with their dad. Like I like the fact that they got closer in the season, but I also don't really care too much to like have him in the ranking, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna kind of, it's kind of just all the kids and then also the teachers, because we see the teachers more than anyone else, and obviously Chuck, because like you've got to have him in there because he sucks. So I'm just I'll tell the rankings last because I thought it'd be easier just to say what I liked in the show first. So maybe I'll be able to put some clips in, we'll see. But so I've just been through the season again, like I've just gone through like the season so I can jot stuff down. But the first thing I want to talk about was Amory and Harper's friendship, because obviously the season starts on their friendship. Like we see like the characters growing up and stuff, and like we see that they're always together. It's always them two, and because of that, I didn't even think about the fact that Sasha and Missy were friends with them, because it just seemed like it was just them two. But then when like Emery came out of the house and got in the car with Sasha and Missy, I was like, wait, so they are like, it was a 4-people friend group and now it's like 3. But even then, like it's just so weird to me, like because obviously, as I was saying before, like I watched parts of the show, so I just never knew that they were a friendship group. I just thought it was always Missy and Sasha that were together, and that was it. Like not together, obviously they were together, but like they were just like a friendship group pair, I guess, by themselves. And then I thought that Harper and Emery were just also a friendship pair by themselves. You know what I mean? So I never thought about it, but that's kind of cool that we know that it's like the 4 of them that were together. And obviously then it went to 3, and then Amory became friends with Darren and Gwynnie, which I actually loved, because when we first see them, they are just kind of like, they get pushed by Amory and she does not even look back. She doesn't say sorry to them. Like I'm happy that she got like and all the things they say, Darren kind of just says like she is a terrible person and stuff. Like it's good that she got like knocked off her high horse, because she was a terrible person, and she really seemed like she was. But anyway, Amory and Harper, they had such a good friendship. I understand why she didn't let Harper in the like her room, but I'm also just so annoyed by her not letting her in, because I know that she was just embarrassed because of Spider. But I also felt so bad for Spider in that moment. I was like, why are you not letting her, like we were both kind of like, why are you not letting her in? Like obviously in that moment I was more thinking about, because Harper had just gone through like, you know, that complete trauma of having almost been, you know, sexually assaulted. Like, bro, I would absolutely not be obviously if Amory knew what happened to Harper, she would have let her in, like, and Spider even probably would have, you know, tried to help her or something, you know, like something would have happened. Like, I don't even understand that whole thing. Like, it's just so crazy. Like, anyway, but then obviously instead of letting her in, she just like turned a light off and tried to get Spider to be quiet. And I just thought everything went wrong since then, because obviously there was a scene when Amory Amory comes back into her room, and it was Harper sitting on the bed with her sibling, and obviously she tells the sibling to leave. I can't remember which sibling it was. I think it was the girl, but and then Harper tells her like about Dusty, and like we didn't think it was going to be a thing, but obviously it became a thing. And then like we have like the whole thing of her not trying to be friends with her again, but also like when Amory says to her, you're my other half, and they like have their heads pressed against each other, you can see Harper letting go, you can see Harper like being happier. Like, well, she doesn't smile, but she literally is just so much more, like, she sighs, she lets out a big breath, she's like happy with Amory, you know what I mean? And it's just so sad that like Amory then says, what is it she says? I've written everything down, so I'll always be there for you, but she wasn't there for her, and that's why she backs up and leaves, because she says something like it's a lie, because she wasn't there for her in the moment she needed her, because then she went home and obviously her dad did that whole thing of like, what was he even on? I don't even know, like acid or something. Like, that was insane. That was an insane scene. And the fact that obviously after that she had to get like put in a foster thing, like she got put in a different place with somebody with a completely different family and people she didn't even know really. And I'm just kind of happy that she got placed somewhere else, because I don't think it would have been good for her to be in that house still. But I was just so sad that she like had to leave all of her stuff behind, kind of. And then when she goes back into that house, it's still not exactly, she doesn't feel safe there, and I just hate it. Like, when she brought out the knife and she was waiting for her dad to come home, and then he did come home, and then he like runs into the room and you just hear screaming, and it's like, you don't know what's happened, but obviously you're assuming that he's just got stabbed, and obviously he does get stabbed by her. I forgot where, but I don't think it really matters. It just means that she was that scared of him that she had to stab him. Like, obviously Amory also realizes that, because after she knows everything, she cries in her mum's bed. Like, she cries to her mum about the fact that she thinks it's all her fault. And I wouldn't say it's all her fault. I would say it's Chuck's fault, because Chuck is an absolute bitch. Like, he is a terrible person. I'm really sorry about this. My eye is just like, it's got some eyelash in it. But anyway, my whole point of that is, like, Chuck is terrible. Chuck is, you know, it was all Chuck and those guys that were, like, you know, trying to do stuff to her, and it was just awful. And then obviously the whole dad thing, like, nothing was going well for Harper that day. Like, everything was going wrong, and I just really hate the fact that, you know, Amory said she could come home with her. Like, she said that Harper could come to her house. She could, like, because of the whole thing that she was saying about ghosts being in her house and stuff. And I just think, like, you know, if she really cared about her in that moment, she would have realised, you know. But also the fact that she was just thinking about the fact that she didn't want Spider, and she didn't want, like, Harper to know that Spider was there. And I'm actually really interested. It's really interesting, because, like, Spider never said anything about Amory, did he? Like, he made up that thing about Quinny, but and the lazy kebab thing, but he never actually said anything about Amory. Like, he never said that he had, like, you know, tried to be with Amory. Amory never said anything because she was embarrassed to say anything until she told Harper. And it's very interesting, like, because he obviously likes to brag about stuff, and we see that. So, like, obviously his feelings for Amory were real, and I actually did feel bad for him in the times, because he, in reality, like, Spider hasn't done a lot of actual bad things. Like, I feel like him and Dusty, I feel like Dusty is obviously the bad guy in the scenario with, like, the teacher with Jojo, because, like, it was his idea and they were just kind of following along, and he seems like the ringleader of them anyway. And Spider's just the one that's very vocal about things. Like, he just is kind of dumb like Ant, but Ant is way dumber. Like, I don't know. I'm interested to see if we'll get any development from Ant or Spider or Dusty, but, like, I don't really care much about Dusty. Like, the thing is, I liked Dusty with Harper until the night with Malachi, because that's where everything went wrong for that couple. You know, like, I think Dusty just was a terrible person after that. I think when he was with Harper, it was actually really cute. Like, they were really cute. But I think because people just, you know, like, not a lot of people actually like Dusty because of all the stuff that he was doing anyway. Like, the fact that he kissed Amory in the first place and then got with Harper, like, the same night. That's just insane to me. Like, that's just crazy. But he's, like, a player. But then he, you know, tried to actually get advice from Amory, and then he did the stuff that she said, and, you know, it actually worked on Harper, which was pretty cute. I just don't know, like, I just wish that they could have been something more. Like, I wish Harper and I wish Harper and Dusty could have actually been a really good couple, but they just couldn't. Like, there was no way of them to be, like, an amazing good couple. It was just really a mess. And then we have you know, by the end of the season, I mean, because Dusty did too many things wrong, and obviously they say it as well. They say like, they tell Dusty to get away, and then they both say, or no, I think Harper says it's a shame that he's hot, or something like that, you know. Like, I might try and put the clip in, but it's pretty funny that they say that, because I love Dusty's eyes. Like, the actor of Dusty, like, his eyes are so striking, and but I don't think he's handsome. Like, to me, he's not really that handsome. It's interesting because I think, for me, the most handsome one is actually the guy who plays Chuck, and Cash. I think they're, like, the most handsome ones to me. And also, actually, probably Ant too. I think Ant is pretty handsome. What's the next part? I wrote everything down in, like, column things. So, oh yeah, after Amory, you know, says, "I'll always be there for you," and then Harper leaves, she goes and cries to Dusty. Like, I thought that was so cute. Like, that just showed how close they are in that moment and everything. Like, that was adorable. And then we have Amory went to Malachi's, and they, like, had their first time. You know, she had her first time with Malachi. I thought that was really cute. I think my favorite couples are Cash and Darren, and Malachi and Amory. I hope that by the end of the series, like, by the end of, like, season 3, that they're both together, because they're, like, the cutest couples, you know what I mean. I loved Missy and Malachi being friends. I think Malachi needed somebody that wasn't in that circle. He needed somebody that, like, would actually be there for him when he needed it properly, because obviously we know that, like, after the police did that, like, you know, threw him to the ground thing, he's been going through so much trauma, and like we needed somebody who would actually be there, because we saw that Amory didn't follow him, and it was Harper and Dusty that went to look after him, and then obviously that other stuff happens with him and them too. And I'm just like, I didn't love that scene, obviously, because it's not exactly supposed to be a lovely scene. Like at first I was like, oh yeah, good, like these two obviously went because they're actually good people, and I was like really happy. But then I was like, oh, what's going on? But like I couldn't really blame them because they were both drunk and like on drugs, but at the same time I was like, and Malachi seemed like he was okay with it, but at the same time he'd just been through a trauma thing, so it's like, you know, you can't really, it's definitely not a good thing to, it's like consent and everything, like no, they didn't get it and no one got it, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't exactly a great thing that happened. But then he didn't actually hold a grudge between either of them, like, and if anything, Dusty held a grudge against Harper, because of the fact that like it seemed like Harper was having more fun with Malachi, and he just wanted, like, they didn't actually talk about if they wanted a threesome or anything. She just literally, you know, started doing stuff, and then like she was the one that moved Dusty's hand, like she grabbed Dusty's hand and put it on Malachi, and then like told, basically like was getting them to kiss and stuff, you know, like she was the one that was like forcing it kind of thing, like she was the one that was making it happen kind of thing. So I just think like obviously that whole thing, I understand where Dusty was coming from, because, you know, they didn't actually talk about it, nothing was, you know, set right, and then she made that whole speech about him and stuff, and I was like, oh god. If anything, like I feel like she was in the wrong for most of it, because, you know, the boys probably didn't even want to do it, and I don't know, it's just weird. But I loved Missy and Malachi together. I loved the friendship. I loved the brother, because he like when Malachi was on the roof and like shouting about the fact that, like, you know, Emery hadn't talked to him the whole night and stuff, why did you even invite me, and like trying to jump on the trampoline type thing, and then like Missy's brother just came and like hugged him. I think that was such a good scene, like it needed to happen. It was just such a good like he was a complete stranger to Malachi. Well, he was a complete stranger in reality, but like he needed to be there, you know what I mean? Like, and Missy was on the floor like telling everyone to stop because it was stupid, like, and then obviously when they were leaving she was like saying like everybody should be ashamed or whatever. Like I just love Misty so much. I hope we get more of her in season 2, because the only downside to her, I would say, would be the fact that she's friends with Sasha, because Sasha is so fake. Like I do not like Sasha, but I do love the fact that Malachi and the brother went to like the woods and stuff and just kind of hung out so he could like have a break. So he definitely needed that. He needed to have like his own kind of time being quiet and like not having drama. He needed to clear his head and everything, and I think he did come back way better. Like I think he came back, you know, with like a different kind of attitude, I would say. And I think they end up staying friends, right, by the end. Malachi and Amory, I forgot what happens. Yeah, I think they stay friends, right? I'm pretty sure, because they probably do need to stay friends for a bit at least. And then I would say let's get into Cash and Darren. Cash and Darren, definitely. So Cash and Darren are my favorite couple, and then I would say Ari and Malachi are the second favorite. Like that's the way it is, because Cash and Darren were just such a good relationship to see forming. Like the fact that Cash was the one that asked Darren out at first, you know, like he was just like at the thing where like Darren works, and he was just like, you know, I forgot, you want to hang out or something, I think that's what he says, and I just thought that was so cute. And then it was Darren that said, yeah, it's a date, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so adorable. I was thinking like, what are they doing with these two, because like obviously Cash was hanging around with the gang thing, Chuck and that lot, And I was like worried about what was going on with these guys. And I'm happy that it actually ended up being a relationship between these two. They're kind of sad, like they're like a cute but sad couple, because obviously they go through a lot of different things. Like obviously Cash finally tells Darren that he is asexual in a different way. He doesn't literally say he's asexual, but he does kind of just say it in a like describe-y way, because he's like that scene when they were in the hallway, like sat on the ground, like that was such a good scene, but it was so sad to watch. I just really love them. I really love everything, all the scenes they had, like even the scenes before they kissed, before they kissed for the first time. All those scenes were amazing. The way that Cash was so nervous when he actually did ask Darren out, and then Darren left, and then he wiped his hands on his clothes. He was so nervous. He was sweating. And then we had Darren. They are very like sexually active, I guess. Like I forgot the words, what it is, like very sexual person at least. And Cash is not that same thing, so they do have like that thing where they're like opposites in that way. Like obviously it's going to be difficult to be together when that's going on, but then the last scene of the whole show, well, the whole season was Cash saying that he loves Darren and Darren saying it back, and like that whole scene was so gorgeous until like Spider ruins it, and then we ignore Spider because Quinny shouts at him, and then we have the moment again, and it's just like so gorgeous. And then obviously Cash gets taken to police, so I'm assuming in season 2 we won't see much of Cash, or we'll see him in prison, or I don't know. But like, I was just so sad, like the fact that he had to go to jail. Or the scene when Darren was dropping the like rubbish on the ground for Cash to come and pick up was so funny, because it was just like, why are you dropping it on the ground? And then obviously Cash realized, and asked, why are you dropping it on the ground, and like, why are you leaving it for me like this? But then he asked Darren out, and that was cute as well. The scene at the party, the kiss, Cash being jealous, everything about that was amazing. I love that scene. And now Chuck was a terrifying villain. Like, he is a terrifying person. Like, he is really cute, like the actor, but he is a terrifying character. And I just love that the fact that like he does such a good job of being terrifying. He makes me hate him so much. Like I think he's such trash. Like he belongs in the fire pit, and I just hate him. But he's such a good actor because he really makes me hate him. The only thing that I hated about his look, I guess, was his hair. Like that hair was terrible. Anyway, moving on. Sasha is trash. Quinny deserved way better than her. I was like, at first obviously they were cute, and then like, but all they really did was kiss, and then I was like, well, is this really going to be a relationship, or is it just because Sasha just wants somebody to kiss? I don't know, because she never actually did anything that Quinny wanted to do. Quinny just kind of did what she wanted at first. Obviously, like their first date was what Sasha wanted to do, and she didn't actually like ask what Quinny wanted or anything like that, because obviously she would know that Quinny didn't want to be there, or Quinny wouldn't have, I guess it was good that Quinny was honest about the fact that she has autism and stuff. And then obviously Sasha, we kind of see the sprouts of things, because she says like, you don't look like an autistic person, or stuff like that. And it's just like, you don't need to look autistic to be autistic. Like the what do you call it, like what's it called, like the stereotypical autistic person look isn't exactly, what do you call it, like it's not going to be everybody, you know what I mean? That's what she was looking at it like. She was looking at it like, you don't look like them. And it's just like, you don't need to put them in a box like this, you know what I mean? You don't need to like make them all the same I don't know, it's just so annoying. Like, she was such a terrible character. Honestly, I kind of don't want her to come back in season 2 because she's such trash. Like, I just didn't like her at all. And you'll see why. You'll see, like, in my ranking, she's so low in my ranking because she's so terrible. Like, she... Oh, what did I write even here? Yeah, Quinny deserves way better. Sasha... Yeah, she only wanted to kiss. Never wanted to do what Quinny wanted. But Quinny tried, yeah. It's such trash. I just can't believe she was doing all that shit. What else did I write? Oh yeah, Quinny being non-verbal after the Sasha fight in that bus. And like, Sasha was terrible in that scene as well. Like, I freaking hate her. The thing that makes me angry as well is I love her hair, and she's actually really pretty, but I do not like her character at all. She's terrible. But Sasha, like, you know, made her feel so terrible, and then she was like non-verbal, and then to anyone, like, she didn't talk to anybody. And then when Jojo came back, she finally started talking again. I thought that was so cute. And also the scene of her dad, you know, texting her and asking her if she was all right, and then she just sent like an emoji thing. Like, she sent like 2 or 3 emojis. That was so adorable, because all he wanted to know is that she was fine, and she was fine. I just think that was so cute. I really love Quinny's character. She's such a good character. And the fact that the actual actress is autistic too. Oh, she's... What? I don't want to get it wrong. Oh my god, I feel so bad. She's on the spectrum though, or something, right? So, I just think that's so good. Like, it's an actual person going through it that's, you know, in the character, so that everything in it feels more authentic and everything, you know. I do love that. And then we have Cash's Nan. Cash's Nan was so iconic. Like, every scene of her was amazing. Every scene she was in, just everything. She's just amazing. Like, trying to get Cash back on the right track using Darren a lot was amazing. Like, the fact that they talk to each other, even just like, you know, texting and stuff. And I think Darren goes to the card game thing that they went to on like the second date they went on or something. And the fact that Cash says it was a date, that was so cute. Everything about the Nan though, loved every scene of her. The one where she was like, might even enjoy myself, when she was talking to the cop, that was everything. And then she just went straight into the shower. That was so funny. Anyway, she was everything. Malachi was such a good character. I felt so bad for Malachi for like the rest of the rest of that series, like the rest of that season. Like, part of it was just so, like, he was so cute, and like he was so, like, you know, like, he's the person that I would fall for, and that would always be second lead. Like, it felt like Dusty was the main lead, and Malachi was the one that you should fall for, but you don't fall for, you know what I mean? But I'm so happy that Anne-Marie did fall for him, and she did actually like him. But I was just so sad when everything went wrong with him. Like, after that police thing, everything just fell apart for him, and, you know, he was going through so much trauma, and like, he was like, obviously, I don't mean like it fell apart as in I didn't like his character anymore. I meant like his whole life was falling apart. Like, you know, like, he didn't want to do that basketball stuff anymore. Like, he wanted to leave. Like, he did. It was so awful for him. Like, I felt so bad. He didn't deserve any of that. Like, that police officer was trash. He's such a sweetheart though. So the whole Dusty and Harper thing, obviously it was like terrible in reality, but like, he went through an awakening in that moment, you know, after that. And when everybody was in the showers and stuff, like, he was going through an awakening of like, you know, he actually might like guys as well, which I think they should explore more of, and I hope they do next season, because they didn't really explore it anymore, you know, in that season. But I don't really know who he could like unless they get like a new person in. But the fact that Malachi didn't really care about, what happened to him in the regards of Harper and Dusty just kind of made me, feel like, I don't know, I feel like because he was going through so much, he didn't have time to really care about that. But also, like, he went and, he told Dusty off or whatever, and then he moved from where Spider, Dusty and Anne were to over where Harper was. So obviously it's not that he doesn't like hold a grudge or anything against Harper or against Dusty. Like, if anything, with Dusty, he just kind of hates the fact that he hangs around with Spider, and he hates the fact that he's just like, anywhere where Spider is, I guess, because he hates Spider. But anyway, Malachi and Emery is such a good couple. I hope that they stay friends for a while before they get into a relationship. I felt so bad for him as a character though, because he was going through so much trauma after that. So many good scenes of him, but he was very cringe, I have to say. Like, he's a very cringe boy, but they acted such a good job with him because I would not be able to say most of the lines he says. Everything that happened to Harper was terrible. The whole stuff with like the gang and Cash, and then with her dad, like, I freaking hated everything that happened with her in that last episode. It was so hard to watch, like, it really was. But I was so happy when Cash like let her out and like everything like that happened. And now that made episode 1 make sense when he went and talked to her at the locker. Like, he says like, "Are you okay?" And then she just says, "Fuck right off," something like that. I think that was such a good scene. Like, it really showed that she hadn't gotten over it yet, because obviously we know that she doesn't blame him. In episode 8 we see that like she's gotten like past all of that. I think it's a good way of being able to see it, because in that scene with Cash, she absolutely despised him. You could see it in her eyes. She did not want to be near him. But then when it got to episode 8 and time had been passed, she says that Cash was the only one, like, Cash was the reason why it didn't get worse. Cash was, like, so she thought about it a lot. You could see that she went through it in her mind a lot. And if he wasn't there, if he hadn't, like, stopped it, if he hadn't have let her out, stuff would have gone real bad. Like, everything would have gotten worse. And I think he did such a good job. Like, he really did. Like, the fact that he obviously he was scared, like, he didn't want to leave the Nan alone, but he had to go to prison for the other guys to be in prison as well. And I think, he did such an admirable thing, because it's hard to do something like that when you know that you're going to go to jail as well. But that sucks. I hated Dusty trying to get with Amory just to get back at Harper and Malachi. That was such trash. Obviously his reason with Malachi was just because of the other argument where Malachi moved from where they were sat to Harper, and obviously Malachi and Harper and Dusty most likely all have the, was it herpes, whatever the hemorrhoid, no, I forgot what it was, but they all had, like, bad stuff, the bad thing. And I think obviously that's the reason why he did that for Harper, and then Malachi was just because they had an argument. And I think, he was such trash for doing that, but at the same time, like, I can't really, like, I if he actually tried to do anything with Amory though, like, why would you actually do that? Like, Harper goes in the room and throws the cake on her and him, and it's just like, oh wait, no, that was before he even knew. Yeah, no, never mind. So that he wasn't being a terrible person at that point, because he didn't even know that he might have it. He might have the thing that Harper had, but she tried to stop it from happening because she didn't want Amory to get it, because she was looking out for her, even though that's why in episode 8 Amory realizes, Harper had done all that for Amory rather than for telling Dusty. Like, obviously she had to tell Dusty, but she also needed to make sure Amory wasn't going to get hurt, So the next part is Darren and Quinny. Darren and Quinny's friendship was everything to me. It is everything to me. It will forever be everything to me. They are so cute together. Like, we see them at the start, episode 1. They're together throughout the show. They're together throughout the season. They're everything. They really are. The fact that Darren knows exactly what to do when Quinny is having one of her, like, you know, like when she came back from the first date with Sasha, and she was not okay. Like, she shouted for Darren straight away, and then she found them in the bathroom, and when Amory was about to touch Quinny, you know, Darren was like, no, don't touch the Quinny, and told Emery to, you know, leave and just have fun and stuff, so that they were together by themselves as the two of them, because obviously she must have been through this a lot of times, and they know what to do. Darren and Quinny are so cute together. Like, they're such a good friendship. The whole writing on the table thing with Amory and Jojo was insane. Dusty was trash for that. That really was trash. Like, I still don't understand why he thought that was a good idea. You know what I mean? Like, that was such a trash idea, just to get, like, rid of the SLT thing, you know. Like, that was just not it. Like, that's not the way to go about it. That's just such a bad idea. Amory's pink outfit on the strike day was the best outfit. Like, I love the outfits in this show, but that outfit that she had on, like, I would wear that outfit, you know what I mean? Like, I would wear that outfit. Spider liking Emery is insane. Like, I knew there had to be something up, because he was so, like, he hated her, but also, like, now we know the reason. Like, it's because he, like, basically got embarrassed. Like, he couldn't get hard with her, and then she basically just told him to get out after Harper came over, and he says, like, I won't tell anyone about it, and then she says there's nothing to tell, and she says, like, you know, get out right now, and she throws the clothes at him, and then he leaves, and you just feel so bad for him. Like, I felt so bad for him in that moment, because it was just so trashy, like, the way she did it as well. And that was at the time when she was still on her high horse. Like, she was still a terrible person. So the fact that she was like that was just so bad. Like, I absolutely hated the fact that she was like that, because he didn't really deserve that. Like, it was just so bad. Yeah, but that also makes more sense to why that he was always, you know, so mean and so, like, hated of her. And then the last thing I say in here is, I want more of Anne in season 2, because he's funny and dumb. That's the last thing I wrote. That's funny. I did like Anne. I like, it's hard to say, because I don't like him and I like him because of the things that he's done, but also, like, he seems more harmless. Like, I feel like the only one who actually did things wrong, like, out of that friendship group was Dusty. Like, I feel like Spider and Ant didn't really actually do anything. Like, Spider talks his mouth off, but he never actually does anything wrong, like, in reality, you know what I mean? Like, the plan wasn't even his idea, it was Dusty's, so I can't blame him. So let me say the ranking. So my ranking is Cash is my favorite character. He's everything to me. He is my everything. Nan is my second favorite character. She is everything. That family, obviously, those two, they are everything. Quinny is my third favorite character. Quinny is everything. Darren is my fourth favorite character. I do like them. I think I had to put them lower down than I expected. Like, I thought Darren was really funny as a character. Like, they always made me laugh the most, I would say. But because of like, for me, Cash and Quinny are like ones that I want to protect, you know. They're like people I want to protect and like not let anything bad happen to them. And then the nan is just a really hilarious like support for Cash. And then Darren, I had to put Darren at 4th just because they I mean Darren being at 4th isn't a bad thing anyway, but like I thought I would have put them a bit higher, just but I kind of had to put them there just because Jojo and Woodsy, I'm going to put them in the same area, so they're 5th, because I do like Jojo and Woodsy. I think they do a good job of, you know, being teachers that they're like trying to help us, like they're trying to help the students, and like I can see they're trying to help, but obviously the students don't want to listen, like they are trash. And I feel bad for you know, Woodsy and Jojo because they're trying, but obviously Jojo goes through a lot in this season because of the whole, you know, writing of the Emery thing. It turns out okay by the end, I guess, so you know, it's all right. But I do like them as teachers, like I like them as the head of the school and then the teachers, you know. And then 6th is Malachi. Malachi was such a sweetheart, like he is such a sweetheart, like I love him. And then Emery, I put her quite far down, but I think she needed to be like pretty far down. Like she's not a terrible person, but I think she starts off really bad and then she gets knocked off the high horse and she turns a bit better, but I think even then she's just not my favorite person, but she isn't a bad person. Missy next, because Missy is a really good character who I really want to see more of in season 2, because she didn't have a lot of scenes in this season, but all the scenes she had with Malachi was so good. I wish she wasn't friends with Sasha, but I love the fact that she was so good with Malachi, like she was such a good friend to him. And then I would put Harper next. So Harper's 9th. Now Harper is a very issue thing, because she did do so many different things that were terrible, which is why she's so low down. But as well, like I don't necessarily hate her character at all, like I don't dislike her, I just like her a bit, you know, because she did so many wrong things. Obviously she probably wouldn't have done any of those wrong things if I don't think she would have ever, definitely she wouldn't have done any of those wrong things she did if the whole stuff didn't happen to her that night. Like everything got ruined for her after that night, and just it was so terrible. And then we have I would say next is Ant, because we don't have a lot of Ant, like we need more of Ant so that I can see what he's going to turn out to be. But I would put Ant below just because we haven't seen much of him. Like Spider next. I do hope we get more development with Spider, because I feel like he can be better than what he is being. Probably he's either going to get worse or better anyway, but he's either going to have a redemption arc or he's going to just kind of stay the same but probably get worse. And then I would put Sasha. So Sasha is such a terrible character. I really hate her character. I would put Sasha down, all the way down here, just because she does not care about anybody. Like I feel like she really doesn't care about anyone, because she just, like, I don't know, she's such a trash character. Like I really do not like her at all. I'm surprised if I'd like her in season 2, but I feel like I won't. And then Dusty. I feel like Sasha and Dusty are around the same area, to be honest, because both of them are kind of trash. Like, I feel like I liked Dusty at the start. Like, obviously I didn't want him to be with Amory because I like Malachi, but I liked him. Like, he wasn't a bad person in my eyes at that time, and then he just became a bad person. Like, he was terrible. And then Chuck is last, obviously, because he is trash. He is the most trash. Like, everybody else didn't really do much physically wrong, but emotionally, sure, but like physically he did, you know, the wrong thing for sure with putting Harper in that car. Like, that was not good. I hate him for doing that to her. Like, I hate him for doing that. I hope that in the next season, because obviously by the end he's the only one not in jail, I hope that they either, like, I don't even know, like, I feel like they can't, like, really attack him in any way. Like, what would they even do? Because his guys are gone, but, like, he's still there, so that he could, like, try and, he could try and mess up anyone's life at this point. But, like, I don't know. It's just so bad. Like, he is so annoying. Bruh. Anyway. So please tell me what you think about this. I will definitely do season 2 reactions. Like, I'm not gonna, obviously I can't do season 1, but like, I hope this is good, like, as a video for you guys, because I really wanted to, like, say what my feelings and thoughts were on this show. I'm gonna watch Cobra Kai or High School Musical, the series. I would rather that those are like long series. With Cobra Kai, that season, that show's ended now, and so has High School Musical, the series. So both of those shows I can do, like, whenever, for however long, because, you know, people that want to see more reactions of those shows will just, you know, flock. But with this show, it's obviously getting a season 3, so I want to get as much out there as possible so that I can not have to, I can literally react to season 3 when it comes out, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to be able to do. I don't know when it's coming out, obviously, but I want to be able to do that. So season 2 I'll be reacting to at some point. I don't know when, but we'll see. If anybody actually does want me to react to season 2, please tell me, because I will. I will react to season 2. If nobody actually cares and just wants me to do this video again for season 2, then I can as well. I can just watch season 2 and then it be like this. Please tell me which way you'd rather have it, because I do not mind either way. Like, I'll be able to do the ranking thing again, talk about season 2, do that kind of thing. We'll see. But season 3, I'll definitely be reacting to it. So please tell me what you want me to do with season 2, if you care. Thank you. Goodbye.
That was a lot of, like, nonsense.
Can but be kidding.